Hello, MICR. Welcome to MICR 130 Spring 2025 edition and our first semester that we are using Lamakū as our learning management system. This video will kind of orient you around the class, show you where to find the general things that you should be doing on a week-to-week basis, and hopefully provide you some general guidelines for maximal success. So let's not waste any time and get right to it. So here's our Lamakū login page. It's just lamakū.hawaii.edu. And then we just log in using our University of Hawaii login. Let's see, and I'm already logged in. Good. And so to find your class, you should probably find it in this panel over here, but just in case you don't, you just hit on these little squares and then find your class. And for this semester, we are General Microbiology Group, Spring 25, MICR 130. And so that's us. You simply click on that. And that gets you to the overview of a class. A little bit about me, if you would like to know. If you never want to see this again, just hit dismiss. Otherwise, if you'd like me to say hi to you every single time you log in, just click on the X button. And then general things that you should be doing, or just the way Lamakū is organized. So we have notifications up here. I find there are tons of notifications, so I'll show you how to manage some of your notifications. This is how you message each other, but this is the overview of the class. This is the content widget, so the general things we should do every semester, or on a timeline. I'll kind of go through these as we talk about the class. Any announcements, and there will be announcements probably by the time you log in. And then the calendar just shows you the upcoming things, stuff that you should be doing. So this is introductions, for example, here. Module 1 quiz will be available, other discussions, etc., etc., etc. And these things will just kind of update as we move through the semester. And so it's a really neat way to get a very quick snapshot as to what's happening. These are upcoming events. If you click on this little tab, this is what's happening specifically today, and there's nothing due today because we are pre-semester. Two ways to get to the contents. You can simply click on our contents here as we go through, getting started, module 1. I believe these will not change, so you're going to have to go down and find them as you make your way through. Right? Or you can just click on the content tab up here. Either way works. And then this will, oops, this is the last thing I was working on. And so I recommend hitting getting started. And so when you hit getting started, it basically shows you the video that you are watching right now. Right? So I'm going to place it on here just in case you want to re-watch the video, and then various little things to kind of get you set up. You know, the syllabus, you should read the syllabus always. A little bit about me. I believe it's the same thing from that little intro page, but you know, if you want to learn about me, because we're going to be spending 16 weeks together online, welcome to do so. You know, how to get help on some of the general things, as well as what you should be doing. And so this kind of sets you up, and this week pre-semester is a great way to kind of get you oriented to Lamakū, get you kind of in the swing of things for the semester, and you should be doing this with all your classes. So when classes begin next week, you are ready to go. Hopefully you're watching this before classes start. Our class is organized into modules. There are 12 modules, and 3 modules constitute 1 exam. And so you can see the dates on here. Module 1 runs from January 13th to 26th, etc., etc., etc. Generally, our modules run from Saturday morning to Sunday night. But because of the initial enrollment period and the late registrations and all that kind of stuff, our first module runs pretty much 2 weeks. So it's going to be a much longer module. It's not something, don't get used to that timing. And I'll mention it in my multiple announcements as we go through. But it's a really good module to just get yourself organized and settled. Right? Now remember, not all your classes are going to start like that. Some are just going to jump in right away and just come firing. This one gets you started just a little bit slower, okay? Just to get used to the schedule, and then from then on, it's going to be a week-to-week pacing. The exam 1 will cover modules 1 to 3. Exam 2 will cover modules 4 to 6, and content will be specific from just the 3 modules that cover up the exam. But of course, some of the modules are going to build off the stuff from previous modules. So we talk about proteins in module 1. As we move forward, we kind of expect you to understand what proteins are and their function in cells, etc., etc., etc. But specifically, the contents will come from the 3 modules, and our 4th exam, which we call our final exam, is actually just the fourth exam covering the 3 previous modules, 10, 11, and 12. And so that's our general structure. When you click on each module, you'll see what to do. I'm going to change this to student view. There we go. So this will be more like what you see. So once again, content. And then when we click on module 1, just the basic things that you should be doing. So the lectures are in the lecture notes, lecture and notes, and we'll see what that looks like. There's a discussion assignment and a module 1 quiz, and that's going to be the same basic pattern for most of our modules, right? And so when you click on the module 1 lectures, video and notes, here are the lecture notes. And when you click on the lecture notes, a new one should pop up. Don't ask for permission to edit, because if I give you permission to edit, then guess what? You can edit. And so we don't want that. Instead, you should see the file over here. If you want it for yourself, just download it as a PDF or as a Word doc or whatever you feel like doing. And then you have the notes with you. And these notes are basically your study guide. It's the summarized form of the lecture slides. And so when you click on the lecture slides, same idea. Don't ask to share, please. You can just download these as PDFs or whatnots. And then these are, this is the basic lecture, right? And it's the slides that I will be going about in my lecture. And these are useful to help you study for the exams and all the various things, right? They do correspond to a textbook, and if you want to know what textbook chapter we're looking at specifically, or section, sorry, it's right up over here. So this is from chapter 1, section 3, called viruses. We sort of go in order, but notice all of a sudden now we're at chapter 7. A means appendix. So just go through and kind of find what you need to find in the textbook, which is a useful supplement to the lecture. Remember, the lectures are condensed versions of what's in the book, right? And so sometimes the lectures don't tell you enough. If you need to know more, go and read the book. And in fact, you should be reading the book anyways. It's a very simple read. It's a free online textbook. And it's it really does help fill out some of the things we talk about, right? But our quizzes and stuff like that comes from our lectures. And here's a lecture video. You can either click on this link or you can click over here and then you watch the lecture video. Now, some people don't watch the lecture. They just go through the slides. And if you're going to do that, that's fine, right? However, in the lecture, there's again, the slides are condensed from the book. In the lecture, I expand a little bit more on some of the content. So some of the content that may be in various things like exams and quizzes, you might not see because it's mentioned in the video if you're only reading the slides. So just watch the lectures. Some people watch it in 2 times speed or something like that to speed it up, right? But remember, you're in a class. You will be attending these lectures. It's very useful to watch the lectures. They're pretty good stuff, if I do say so myself. So just watch the video. And they are basically cover the whole module. And so there within the lecture, I do break it up and give you opportunities to rest, right? And so the video itself may be 1.5 to 2 hours long, but there are points where I say, okay, pause it here, pause it there, just note the time, and then you can just fast forward to it. And of course, it is a video. You can watch it anytime, so you can forward and rewind as much as you see fit. Let's see. Oops. Let's go back to our module 1. So once you get all the content and we have our 2 activities, I appear to be missing. Oh, I know why. Because the discussion doesn't open until the class starts, so it's not shown to you. But we have a quiz and there will be a discussion. Maybe I'm going to go back to my non-student view so you can see what I'm talking about. Oh, there it is. Hello. And so there's going to be a discussion. Just click on the discussion, post, and then our quiz. And so when you click on the discussion, you're going to see a description of what to do. And so in this case, there's a small video to watch. Sometimes I'll participate. Sometimes it's just about you. And generally, the discussions are about self-exploration, about your role in your community and your progress. And so just read through it and just, post from the heart. Now, I don't want you to start a new thread. I don't quite like how the discussions are organized. So to post, simply click on post here and then reply to this thread. So we can have this long chain of everyone's participations. I find that it's much, much easier for me to read what you're writing as opposed to opening multiple threads. So please don't click on, don't make a new thread, just click on post here. And then there'll be one of these for every discussion, at least there should be. Let's go back to our discussions because I just want to show you how it's organized. So we have our class discussions. So these are going to be your discussion assignments. I'm going to collapse this because they have different forums. So this is our discussion forum. This is where all your discussion assignments are going to be. This one here is if you have any questions about things going on, whether it's a general just content stuff, hey, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that, process things, or whether there are questions about quizzes, right? And so when you do the quizzes, and I guess we'll get to that in a little bit, I encourage you all to share with each other, right? Live and learn together as a group. And so if you have any questions, just click on questions about the class, and then now you can start a thread. So in this one here, start a thread and say, hey, I have a question with this quiz. You know, try to keep the threads semi-organized. So let's say you have a Module 1 quiz question, say Module 1 quiz question, and then just type the more information that you have, the better. Right? And so again, I'll kind of talk about this when we go to the quizzes. And then if you are looking through here and you see someone have a question, say, hey, I know the answer to the question, reply, right? Help everyone out. If you are looking for help with your quizzes, try to find an appropriate thread and just reply to that one. And just try to help each other out. You know, peer-to-peer learning is so powerful. It's so valuable in learning together, right? And at some point, let's collapse this one. And at some point, we will have a group project, and then we'll talk about this when we get there. So for the moment, don't worry about this forum just quite yet, but it'll be there at the appropriate time. All right, let's go back to our quizzes. And now I'm going to go back to student view and see what that looks like. So we are all learning how to navigate Lamakū still. And so here's the quiz. And so each, where's my start quiz? Start quiz to begin. Maybe I'm not allowed to do it. Oh, I know why, because we haven't started the class yet. So I'm going to have to go give my, there am I again? I'm going to have to give me my master rating. And so here's our Module 1 quiz. And then this is what a quiz looks like. There we go. Now we have our start quiz. And so it's pretty straightforward. Question, answer, question, answer, question, answer, question, answer, question, answer, right? And then when you're done, just hit submit quiz. Now, when you hit submit, you can go and navigate through. And so let's say I click this one here and I do this one there. Notice on the left side, you'll see I've answered these questions and I'm about to hit submit. It's like, whoops, there's a bunch of other ones I haven't answered yet. And so, I forgot this one here, and just click on that and blah, blah, blah. And that's the answer there. And let's go there and blah, blah, blah. And that's the answer there. And let's just pretend I've finished it all. You can submit. I submitted. And so now what you can do is you can see your work. I know I got 2 out of 40. Not a great score. And so what you're going to see is the questions. You're going to see what you chose as an answer, but you will not see what the correct answer is. And so it's your goal then, if you did not get full points, to go and review each question. Confirm, is this indeed the correct answer? Is this indeed the correct answer? If you don't believe it to be, then what do you think the correct answer is? Go through your notes and try to find it. And again, this is all with the intent of you trying to learn how to find the right answers. And if you are stumped, if you're absolutely stumped, then post the questions on the discussion board, right? And it helps to post a question, it helps to post the choices, it helps to post what you chose as an answer and why you chose it. And then maybe if you feel like you think it's, oh, I think it's not, this one is what I chose, that's not the right answer, I think it might be one of these two instead, just kind of state that as well. And then that really helps spur the discussion. Again, peer-to-peer learning, much, much, much better. Okay, I think that's about what we need to do. There will be later, as we move through the various modules, you're going to see things like our disease profile group, right? And so other things will come on, but generally each week there's going to be a discussion, there's going to be a quiz. You should watch the lecture notes. All the lecture notes are available to you right now, so you're welcome to go ahead and start that. anytime you want, but I always say don't get too far ahead, right? Because then you're just going to kind of forget what you've done. So all the lecture notes are available to you anytime you want. So if you feel like you're done with your Module 2 quiz, then go ahead and go on to the next module whenever you feel like you're ready. Oh, the quizzes can be taken 3 times. They're a random draw of a pool of questions, and I only keep the highest score. So you're welcome to do it all 3 times, and then don't worry about it. Now, importantly, the same pool of questions are for your exam. So your exam 1, for example, pulls from the module 1, 2, and 3 quiz pools. And so the more times that you do each quiz, the more you're going to see all the potential quiz questions. So even if you did really well on your first quiz attempt, take all 3 attempts, because then you will see more quiz questions. And I know some people, if they got a really good score on the first one, they'll just kind of blow through the second and third attempts, right? But remember, then you don't really know what the right answers are. So take each attempt, use the opportunity for your quizzes to help you study for the exams. So that's, I believe, our course in a nutshell. I think I've already gone much longer than I wanted to. Hopefully, we will survive this Lamakū transition together. If this is your first semester at Leeward Community College, welcome. And you will have no issues with Lamakū. If you are a continuing student and you're used to Laulima, for you, there's going to be a little bit of an adjustment, but you'll find that Lamakū is pretty user-friendly from the student end, bit more challenging from the faculty side. And so if there are any things that come up, let's say a picture doesn't show up or links aren't working, just send me a quick message and I'll be more than happy to deal with it. Just don't start freaking out. Okay, it's like, oh my goodness, I can't see this picture. I'm freaking out, right? We are all freaking out on our end, so we're all trying to deal with this. Just let me know, and then we'll do our best to fix things as best as possible. That's it. If you have any questions, post them on the discussion board. That's what they're for, right? So just start a thread and go ahead and post. Otherwise, just get settled, get oriented. I think that introductions one for our first module, it doesn't open until next week, but I'm going to open it right now. So you're welcome to go ahead and start posting in the module 1 discussion, just so then you can start interacting with Lamakū. Welcome to MICR 130, and let's have a wonderful semester.